my storming blanket!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is obviously my review for The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. It's a 2007 film which turns 15 this year, which can be a pretty darn good excuse to finally sit down and review this film for you guys. It is a film that stars Casey Affleck, Brad Pitt, Sam Rockwell, Jeremy Renner, and a slew of other actors. It is a film that I feel like honestly is under the radar for many, many people. It's a film that I first heard about through going to the library, honestly, my local library. Like, I would always see the DVD for it, and I would say, that is a long title. And I also happen to like Westerns quite a bit, so I knew at some point I would watch it. And in 2015, I watched it, and I instantly loved it. But then I watched it on Blu-ray, and I liked it even more. And this is a Blu-ray that definitely is a little aged. I'm not going to lie. It definitely should get a 4K transfer. But you can still watch this and say, yeah, it's a great-looking film. But this is one of the best-looking films I've ever seen. Roger Deakins' cinematography here is just some of the best I frankly have ever seen. And the funny thing is, it wasn't even the best of 2007. This was the same year that Roger Deakins also did No Country for Old Men, and Robert Elswit did, of course, There Be Blood. There Be Blood won Best Cinematography for that year, and to be honest, it definitely deserved it. But still, those three films, you see what I'm saying, three of the best-looking films of all time were up against each other. But I will say the Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, what's so striking about this film is that it has this like old-fashioned look to it. And by that, I mean, it's filmed, obviously, shot on film, but it also has this like hazy kind of filter over it that gives it like this timeless feel to it. And I really liked it. And I think that combined with the narration really makes it feel like you're almost like opening a storybook, and it just so happens to also be like a visual medium, and it's just kind of like washing over you. And I really liked that feel. Like, it really felt immersive. And at 2 hours and 40 minutes, sure, it's a slow burn, but you just can't help but be captivated by everything you're watching. Not just because of the cinematography, but you also have a really, really good score by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. These are two composers you might have heard about here and there in terms of the film industry, but together they work really well off of each other in terms of this film. And I liked the audio of this film. I liked the gun sounds. I liked the nature noises. Like, I feel like all those sound effects combined really made for an evocative experience. But I think in terms of acting, this is one of the best Brad Pitt performances you'll see. It is a very, very nuanced performance that I think doesn't get talked about enough, unfortunately, but it is truly breathtaking. And Casey Affleck is equally as breathtaking. This was a role that I feel like kind of got him attention. It was around the same time as Gone Baby Gone, which I think he got nominated, if I'm not mistaken, for both films. Around the same time. Might have even been the same year, come to think about it, which is ironic enough. But this was around the time where people started realizing, like, oh, shoot, Casey Affleck's a great actor. And this is definitely one of those films where you watch and you say, yeah, he's a terrific actor, because he does such a great job of feeling as if he's really young and kind of immature, but also beyond his years, if that makes sense. And I think that this film does a great job of also handling the larger-than-life approach that oftentimes many people go for in terms of Jesse James. This feels more grounded, where it's like you have the characters surrounding Jesse James that look at him as a larger-than-life figure. But the truth is, when you actually see Jesse James, he's not. He's just your average individual that just so happens to have a couple ticks that, obviously some people don't have. And he just also happens to be a good gunfighter. But he's also someone that's a little bit beyond his years. So I like that approach. The aging gunfighter is something that you've seen before, but here it felt a little bit different. And I think it also probably helps is that there's not much action in this film. Like, if you're going into this film expecting a lot of action, you're going to be, unfortunately, very disappointed. But if you go in expecting a character-driven film that also is just an incredible feat for filmmaking, I think you'll truly like this film. It's not for everyone because, again, it is clocking in at 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's very, 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 very light on action. But it is a film that, nonetheless, I would highly recommend. It's one of the best looking films and sounding films you'll see of the 2000s. Just in general, it's a truly, truly great film and criminally underrated. Not as many people talk about this, but they should. They really should. It's one of my favorite Westerns. It's one of my favorite films just in general. And although it's not a film that I rewatch as much as There Be Blood and No Country for Old Men, it's still a film that very much so I would highly recommend, and I think is personally a masterpiece. And that's why, you know what? Screw it. Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, I will be giving a So you guys, those are my thoughts on, of course, the Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've seen it or not and what you thought about it down below. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching with the subscription, notification bell, follow me on Letterboxd, and I will catch you guys later.